We often think we understand our relationship with money, but do we really understand what true wealth is? Today, we're going to talk about The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, covering 3 concepts that reshape the way I see money, wealth, and financial freedom. This is not an investment video. This is a video about the financial mindset that you need so that you can design the life you want to live. All right, let's get started. What if I told you that wealth isn't what you see? Wealth is what you don't see. When you see someone driving $1 million car, what is one thing you can be absolutely sure about? They have $1 million less than when they bought it. That's it. That's all you can be sure about. What we see is richness. We see the car. We see the clothes people buy. We see potentially the schools they send their children to. What we don't see is their savings. We don't see their retirement accounts. We don't see their investment portfolio. What we see is the things they have chosen to spend their money on and not what they could have bought if they have chosen to stretch themselves too thin. In some ways, wealth is simply income not spent. Okay, here's a really interesting experiment. The next time you find yourself people watching, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Are you seeing wealth or are you seeing richness? That person that is wearing designer sneakers, or that person that's wearing beautiful clothes, or with that beautiful purse, is this person financially free, or are they just really, really good at swiping their credit card, which I am as well? A lot of times we mistake richness, the cars, the clothes, the fancy shoes, the bags, for wealth, but they're not the same thing. On the flip side of this exercise, the next time you see yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see wealth or do you see richness? And does it matter? Last year, I bought this Max Mara coat that I really want. After reading this book, I can't help but think to myself every time I look in the mirror, is it worth it? Why did I buy this coat? Am I trying to signal something? Am I trying to signal richness? Because if that is true, all I have successfully signaled was that I have a few $1,000s less than I had before. That's it. I have to choose between richness and wealth. 100% of the time, I will choose wealth because that is the type of Asian that I am. I also have to admit that this potential financial illusion that I have purchased also greatly sparks joy. I don't know why, but every time I look in a mirror, I feel awesome. I feel great. I feel awesome, while at the same time acknowledging the benefits of compounding interest and the money that I've spent. Doesn't matter what I see in the mirror, richness or wealth, or neither, or both, who knows? Let's move on to the second concept of this book before I get distracted, which is no one is crazy, but you have to leave room for error.
Your book starts off with this notion that people are not crazy. It's in fact the title of the chapter. Does that mean that people are rational about money?
Oh, I think it's very different. What I meant by no one is crazy is that it is so easy for people to look around at society at how other people are spending their money and saving their money and investing their money and say, why the hell would anybody do that?
Housel argues that all behavior makes sense with enough information, including how we spend money, even if it is irrational to other people.
The majority of lottery tickets in the United States are purchased by the poorest Americans. The lowest decile of income earners buy the majority of lottery tickets. Now, someone like me or you might look at that and say, that's crazy. These people who can barely feed themselves are buying scratcher tickets. That makes no sense. It's not rational. I have a friend who's a financial advisor. He's successful now, but he grew up in abject poverty. He was homeless most of his childhood. And he told me a story one time that he remembers when he was a child and his refrigerator was empty and his mom had $3 to her name. And he said, look, $3 is not going to fill the refrigerator. It's not going to make a dent. But $3 will buy you 3 lottery tickets that will give you the potential to fill the refrigerator. And he said, until you can understand that mindset, you don't understand why these poor people are buying so many lottery tickets. When it's your only chance of hope of literally feeding your kids in this situation, it doesn't make sense.
I was judging. But when $3 becomes the hope of overcoming the impossible, honestly, it makes sense. I mean, who am I to judge? There is no right answer when it comes to how we ought to spend money and how we ought to save money.
It's not like math. Like in math, 2 + 2 = 4 for everybody. And in money, it's like you gotta figure it out for yourself. It's almost like your taste in food or your taste in music. Like just find out what you like and do that.
However, there is one exception to this rule. One singular wrong way to spend money. That is, you should not take risks that can wipe you out financially. According to Housel, no risk that wipes you out is ever worth taking. You have to leave room for error. One of my favorite quotes in his book is the following: I think of my own money as barbelled. I take risks with one portion and terrified with the other. I honestly never had the right word to describe my approach to money until right now, but barbell is it. One side of me craves stability, emergency savings, retirement funds, and honestly just like a real nice buffer against the chaos of life. The other side of me knows that risk is the price for admission for big wins. This barbell mindset balances my two truths. It gives me the security blanket that I need to feel stable, but also the ability to stay happy and ambitious and live up to my belief that calculated risk is like the secret ingredients to success in life. It allows me to live the life that I want to live without regret. The last concept we're diving in today is the concept that actually made me think the most in this video. It is the idea that money is both an asset and a liability. As such, we need to be conscious about what we are truly exchanging for money. If we think about it, when we go to work, we are exchanging our time for money. This transaction can feel worthwhile because this exchange gives us the opportunity to buy what we need and want. Having been lucky to be in the tech industry for over a decade, I've really learned to appreciate the power of money as an asset. Money has buffered me from stress. Money has bought me convenience. When I was really burnt out for a while, money bought me help in doing the things I couldn't manage at that time. Money bought me time. Time to reset. Time to prioritize what truly mattered to me. In some ways, money bought me happiness.
리마, 나는 네가 생각을 조금 바꿨으면 좋겠어. 명품 가방 들고 다니고 해외여행 다니고 그런다고 걔네가 행복할까? 너는 행복을 돈으로 살 수 있다고 생각해? 아니, 나는 우리가 행복을 돈으로 살 수는 없다고 생각해. 왠지 알아?
왜?
우린 그만한 돈이 없어.
Enough money can buy happiness, but too much of something, honestly too much of anything, can become a liability.
I think money is actually like a liability. It's a financial asset and a psychological liability. It's taking control over what you're doing in life. If you're saying, I have to have more of it. I mean, if there's anything in life where you're like, I have to have more, and even when I get more, my satiation point goes higher and higher. What is that? It's an addiction.
What is the true cost of money? What is enough? More importantly, what are you sacrificing in pursuit of money? And when does it stop being worth the sacrifice? I can't find a source for this. If you know, let me know in the comments below. There was an interview where this person was saying that before he was wealthy, he had hope. He had hope for a better day. He had hope for things he wanted, things he needed. He had hope that kept him going and moving forward. The funny thing is that when he became extremely wealthy is that every monetary thing that you want, you have. You bought the car you wanted, you bought your dream house. When you're done with buying all of those things that you want, what is left? What is so interesting is that when we're not at that level of wealthiness, we have hopes and dreams to motivate us forward. But when we have everything that money can buy, you lose the security of monetary desires and you're left with having to know yourself a lot better, being forced to know what you truly want, which is not an easy answer. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you here. Well, there is one piece of good news. And it is personal good news for me, which is I will have a bit of time before that becomes a real problem of mine. So I don't have to add this to my long list of existential crises. So, yay! I am sure that this video has left you with more questions than answers, and I hope that's fine. But I want to say that The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel offers so much more than what we have covered today. I encourage you to just check out this book yourself. It's a great opportunity to reflect on your own relationship with money and whether or not your choices align with your values. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you subscribe and see you next time.